Parents, hello. We have started another basketball season. We have obviously been practicing for a few days now. The girls are doing a great job. The energy and enthusiasm and intensity in practice has been through the roof. It's been a noticeable increase and the girls are doing a great job. Instead of having a parent meeting this year and asking you guys to come to the school at an incredibly inconvenient time for me to just kind of word vomit to you and give you all these details in about 15 minutes, what I've decided to do is to record our parent meeting this year and then send it to you via video. So this is going to be our parent meeting. I hope you enjoy the video. As always, if I say anything, you obviously won't be able to ask me questions directly, but feel free to email me at any point. I'm going to try and go through everything that you will need to know for this upcoming basketball season, everything from the schedule to dates to look out for, to player pack fees, to participation fees, all that type of stuff in this video. And then, like I said, email me if you have any questions. So, first what we're going to do is we're going to go over our Power School page. If you go to our Power School page, the girls basketball Power School page, you will see a few things on there. First, in the top heading, you will see our Storm basketball coaches commitment and values. You could pull that up at any point, and that's just kind of an overview of some of the things that we're valuing this year. This first section of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a few minutes to go over that because I think this stuff is important. Anytime I can get in front of our parents and just communicate them why we feel girls basketball is important, what we're trying to do in our program, and what the coaches feel like their purpose is, I always want to take that so that you can get an opportunity to see our coaches' hearts and see why we do this and come alongside what we're trying to do for your daughter. So anyway, I'm going to go through that sheet. So you can find it there. You can find it on our Power School page. The first heading, it says Storm Basketball Coaches Commitment and Values. Here is basically what that document says. That document has our coaches' commitment, which basically has our mission statement. Our mission statement is that first sentence. Our mission statement is to develop and empower young women of great influence. That is our goal. When we step on the court every day, our goal is to develop and empower young women who are going to go on to be great influencers in whatever they do. So how do we do that? So you can continue to read that coach's commitment, and it says a lot about what we expect out of our coaches and how our coaches are going to approach practice, approach different things that might come up. And so you can read that and email me if you have any questions. But I'm going to move right along to the next thing, which is our team and program motto, which is TCD, which stands for Trust, Commit, Delight. You've probably heard us talk about that before. Why I feel like this is something that's important for you to know is, one, because you're going to be hearing us talk about it a lot, and you'll see that language come up in emails, and you'll hear me say it in timeouts, and you'll hear me say it in locker room speeches, is Trust, Commit, Delight. What that really is if our mission statement is to develop and empower young women of great influence, then that TCD motto, trusting, committing, and delighting, is really how we feel like we do that, right? If our goal is to do this mission statement up here, how do we do that? Well, it's by helping our girls trust, commit, and delight. And so I'm going to give you the quick elevator pitch of what each of those things mean once again, so that you can begin to ask your players about some of the conversations that we're having around those words, and so that you will know the conversations we will be having with your players in a leadership sense. We want to be increasing your daughter's influence as a leader as much as possible, and we believe that's done by trusting, committing, and delighting. So here's the quick elevator pitch. Trust. What is trust? Trust is the ability to rely on someone other than yourself. The ability to rely on others. We really believe that that is actually done by an understanding yourself first. How can I rely on someone else and know someone else if I don't understand them? And how can I understand someone else if I don't understand myself first? So trust is what we use really to actually talk about ourselves, to talk about who God designed us to be, the passions that He has kind of developed inside of us, and the things that He is grooming us for, who we are, these people that we are, and these people that we're becoming. That's trust. Commit. Commit is the choice that you make to try and be really, really good at something, even though it is hard. It is hard to make commitments. Commitments should be hard. They should be a struggle. You are going to face failure anytime you commit to something. And there's this perception amongst our students that committing to something just means I'm a part of it, when that's not really a commitment. A commitment first is a commitment to yourself to try and be the best that you can be at something. So that's commit. And delight. Delight's pretty simple. enjoying what you are doing. And that should come intrinsically. We want to motivate our players to be intrinsically motivated, meaning motivated from within. Yes, we will use things to externally motivate them a lot, like consequences in practice for losing, and like expectations and things like that. But as much as we can, we want to be developing our girls to be intrinsically motivated. Intrinsically motivated to do what? Intrinsically motivated to get better. That's what's fun. That's what you can delight in about basketball. Basketball shouldn't be about winning, shouldn't be about winning how many games you win, shouldn't be about how many region championships you win. We believe that's a byproduct of committing. Winning is a byproduct of how well we commit to ourselves and to improving over time. But what we should delight in more than anything else is the process of getting better. It feels good to progress at something and to get better, especially when you can feel it. And so that's why we really feel like basketball is a cool way to do that. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that, and we have really thought through, if we want our seniors to be girls who are excellent at trusting, committing, delighting, so that they can lead others, where does that mean they need to be as 11th graders? Where does that mean they need to be as 10th graders? All the way down. So we really have thought intentionally and strategically behind, how do we do this at the 6th grade level? How do we do this at the 10th grade level? Where do we want these girls to be, and why, so that by the time they leave us, they are excellent and they have influence in these 3 areas. And so that is what trust, commit, delight is, and when you hear us say those things, you can understand what that means. The next thing you'll see there on that page is something that's called the support challenge matrix. When we look at a player and I'm communicating with one of your daughters, the reason I'm communicating with them is to do one of 2 things, to either support them or challenge them. Okay, so you will hear us use those words a lot. Support means communicating their value to them. Challenge means communicating something that they're not doing that is expected of them. Okay? And so we want to come alongside you and be able to remove you from having to challenge your daughter in a basketball sense, because you know that we are going to be doing that. A lot of the players that I coach and the students that I teach, they really need people, need leaders in their lives who know them well enough to be able to challenge them in an honest way that is genuine. And so that's what we're going to try to do. You'll hear us use those words a lot. And then below that is our basketball values. Those are not new. You've heard us talk about those things before probably, but what we're trying to do is put them on paper so that we can communicate them first to the girls, but also to parents and to other people. Those values are what we want when other people come and watch our high school team practice. We want them to be able to watch 10 minutes of practice and to be able to point to those 3 things without having to ask anyone. To be able to see that from a coach's standpoint and from how the players behave, those are the 3 things that we value. And so that's toughness. We believe that in order to gain a competitive advantage in the 1A classification in Region 8 Single A, we're going to have to out-tough every opponent that we play. Are we there yet? No, but we're getting there, and we're going to take intentional steps every single practice to be developing that in our players. The second thing is shooting. Given our background as coaches, we think that's something that we teach really well. And once again, shooting forgives a lot of basketball sins. So we would ideally love to be able to put 5 girls on the floor who can all shoot it. And that, when I mean shoot it from 3. And so we want to, everyone, it is easy. It makes your decisions easier in basketball. It makes the floor more spaced when you have as many girls out there that can shoot. And then the third thing is playing with the pass, taking storm shots. Basically, the ball and players need to move in order for us to be successful. We want to see lots of ball movement and lots of player movement on offense. Next, what I'm going to go over is the schedule, okay? And I'm going to tell you all the places that you can find our schedule. Our schedule is in more places than you need it, okay? So what you'll see under the Storm Basketball Values block on the Power School page next will be a block that will say the Master Calendar. The Master Calendar has every game in practice all the way through the end of the season on there. So if you ever need to know when a practice is happening, or if you're the type of person who likes to print off the schedule and have it on the fridge or whatever, that I would print off that Master Calendar. It has every practice for the whole season all scheduled out. Below that is a block that has just our game schedule. You see the varsity and JV game schedule. Okay, so all of that is also on the master schedule, but that is a document that is just our game schedule. Okay, and then also our schedule is on the calendar on the Power School page. So that's not a document, but I literally go in and if you click calendar on the Power School page, it'll have, you'll see the month that we're in, and it will have all the practices and games for that month or so. And then, like I have been doing, I will always send a weekly email where I will, every Sunday night, I try to do that Sunday night. Sometimes I'll forget and I do it Monday morning. But I try to send an email every Sunday night to players and parents that just says, hey, here's the schedule for the week. Here's what you can expect. Just wanted to remind you. Okay, so the schedule is in more places than you need it. If you have any questions on the schedule, please let me know. So the cost for a varsity player will be $400. That includes everything. That includes participation fees, any fees that we have to pay to be members of this club or that club. And it includes all of the gear, trip costs, all of that, $400 flat. The cost for a JV player will be $325. Same thing. That's a one-time fee. It covers everything. You will be billed that from the school. So you don't have to bring in a check or money to the office or anything like that. You don't have to bring in a check to me. All you have to do is the school will bill you. You'll see that come, and you'll pay all of that online. Let's talk about giving. Me, if you've gotten to know me a little bit, you know I'm a big dreamer, I'm a big thinker, and so I always have kind of 4 or 5 ideas of huge things that I would love to do that all come out of the heart of making it as appealing as possible to be a girls basketball player. We really want it to be different and to feel different and for you to feel special as to being a part of what we do. And so there's tons of things that I would love to do, but of course we just don't have the budget for at our school or in our program. So there are tons of things that we have already started to begin to raise money for. I'm sure you've heard from your girls that we have started a renovation of the locker room. We have raised some money to do that already and are super grateful for the people who have helped us do that, but we're not quite where we need to be yet. And so I would really, really love to make that locker room a really cool space. You can see now, you probably heard from ours, we've put in individual lockers in there, and that's about all that we've done. We repainted in there, but there are about 4 or 5 more things in there that I would love to do that we can't do right now because we don't have the funds. So if you would like to give to something like that, like I said, that's just one of the projects I would love to do. Please reach out to me, ask me how you can help, even if it's not that you can give specifically. Believe me, every dollar amount helps. If I have an idea that I would love to go to the school about, it helps for me to be able to say, hey, school, I would love to do this. Providence, I would love to do this. Here is, $2,000 that my parents have already raised to do this. And a lot of times the school will come back and say, okay, because you have a group of people that is really committed to this, we would love to help you. And so any amount that you could give to anything would help. And if you would like to know things that you could give to, reach out. Even if it's like $20, $25, that goes a long way for me being able to go to the school and say, hey, our parents are committing to this. They want to make this happen. So please reach out. We would love for that to happen. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was informative and that you understood everything. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions that you have, and we're looking forward to an awesome basketball season. Thanks.